2, 3, go. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Blessing Omoniyi, and you're welcome to Blessing Omoniyi. So on today's episode, we'll be talking about Australian visas, because I've had a lot of questions about how do I process my visa to get Australia, how do I get there, and stuff. Australian visa is actually not as easy as Canadian visa, but that's not the point. If you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button. It's very easy. You don't have to pay money, you know. And today we're going to be discussing Australian visa type, starting most especially with student visa. In order to buttress the point of this particular topic, I have with me my friend, my guest, Toyin, who is also going to be sharing part of her experience from Nigeria to Australia, how she managed to, jump over that water and landed in that country. Fortunately for us, we know that there are so many Australian visa types, like ranging from student visa, guardian student visa, family visa, humanitarian. In fact, Australia has over 100 and something visa. But I have picked some of the visas that we are going to be addressing over the next few weeks that relate to migrants coming from Africa and that can be easy to access. Bear in mind that Australian visa is not as straightforward. In fact, there is no country visa that is straightforward, to be honest. Canadian visa can look easy with the express entry and co, and the value of life or the benefit both offer, both Australian visa and Canadian visa are quite similar. Talking about infrastructure, talking about healthcare, whatever you want to think about. They have similar benefits. But at the same time, we are not there yet, but we can share part of what we have learned along the way. And then this channel is basically about sharing our immigration story, our immigration journey, because the grass is not just green on the other side. You gotta water the grass,
Yes.
so that you can get the benefits.
Yes.
So, talking about student visa is one of the easiest, straightforward ways to step into Australia. But the question you are going to ask yourself when you are trying to migrate in any circumstance or in any country is, am I going for stay? I am going to come back. Is it to disappear?
You gotta know.
Or you are going back home?
You gotta know.
That decision, you gotta make it before you even think about applying or making any information or asking any question. Because we know that a lot of people want to migrate so that they can become a permanent, migrant or permanent resident in the next country. A student visa, basically, Australian student visa isn't as straightforward as it is. But I want you to understand that information is power.
Yes.
When it comes to you migrating to a country, or any country whatsoever, not just Australia, or you need information about anything, first thing you have to decide in your heart, like I said, is decide, are you going just for the tenure of your study, or you're going there to actually get a stay on the long run? That question will determine what you have to start doing from the inception or conception of your visa application. Because if you don't know the decision, you can enter the country and you'll be running around like you don't know your bearing.
You'll be floating.
You'll be floating like water.
You'll be like somebody, help!
You can't even talk about the school fees you will pay, because that one will make you cry.
Oh my God.
And there's no guarantee that after you study for 2 years, you are gonna get a stay. That one is zero guarantee.
No.
Zero guarantee. So what that implies is, first of all, you need to understand what do you do pre-applying for visa. So what do you need to know before pre-visa? So, Toyin, when you were coming to Australia, do you have in mind exactly what course you wanted to do, or you had to let the agent suggest the course for you?
Yes. Actually, when I was coming to Australia, I had in mind that I wanted to study something in health line, but then at the time, because I didn't know much, I did not research much so I just left most of the decision to the agent.
Yeah.
And then he actually made most of the decisions. He was just asking me for just the document.
Yeah.
But the thing was that he said I would not be able to get
A direct health course?
yeah, a direct L course. Like I would not be able to get an admission for an L course right now because of the season. That was the excuse that he gave. And then he applied for like a business course for me. So that was what I got visa on.
Okay.
And then coming here, I realized
I thought I'd get you where you started flying and floating.
Okay.
So, second question I would love to know, which is supposed to be my number one question, is what prompted you to consider Australia as a place where you want to stay? Or when you were coming, you had the impression you were going to study or you were going to run away?
Yeah, I actually had the impression of studying actually when I was coming. So, but then the situation of my visa, I'm like, because I just wanted like everything to work. So I'm just like, okay, I wanted to go study, get more. At the time, I was even studying like a higher education in Nigeria, but like it was best for me to study outside Nigeria.
Yeah.
So I just thought, okay, let me go ahead with outside Nigeria, and then Australia was the choice that we had at the time, and then we went for it. So I actually wanted to study.
So you just wanted to gain the exposure and to have an international educational credential.
Yes.
So what pushed you when you got to the country and then your decision, your destination?
Yeah. When I got to the country, I started floating. And that's the point where you said like make the whole decision, like get to know where you're going, the research you need.
Yeah.
I floated.
Okay, so would you say that if you had made your personal research or you had a channel like this that gave you the information prior to you applying, you would have probably pushed for a more concrete thing that you wanted?
Yes, that was it. That's the point about talking about the research that you needed to make. If I had made the research, if I had known like what was going on, like really going on with schools in Australia and how it will help me, I would have like made a better choice and not like had to waste the first set of money.
And
it was
the first part of the year.
Yeah, and the first part of the year.
Number one, like I said, is what are you going there to do? Are you just going for the exposure, the international academic credential, and return back to our father's land and make a difference?
Yeah.
Or you are planning to go and run away, even though they are not chasing you. Okay, guys. On a more serious note, after deciding why you really want to relocate, the next question or the next information you start finding is what are the courses you can do that will align with your goal for leaving the country in the first place. It's very important to consider the skilled courses. It's very important to consider the experience you currently have. If you are in any of the countries, be it Canada, USA or Australia, it's very important for you to know that the STEM courses are very, very influential in the whole of the nation. You talk about science, you talk about technology, you talk about education, you talk about mathematics. Those courses, when it comes to you doing masters in them or you research in them, you actually have a higher ground or you have a better preference compared to people coming from the business management line. I'm talking this from Australian experience. Accounting is paramount, but very competitive. So technology is competitive. All of the courses are competitive. So you have to check your background. What background education do you have? Where are you working currently? What is your current years of experience? All these things will count if you decide that you're going to stay here for the long run, or you're going to stay here for the short run, because you can change your decision overnight. Defining the goal before deciding to relocate, and that will help you in deciding what country will best suit your goals. And if you determine your goal and you find that the path through Australia might be longer, it might be Canada that will be easier for you based on the work experience you've done, then go for what suits your goals. If you prefer Australia, maybe because of the proximity, maybe because of you have friends or families there,
and
it's your choice.
Place too.
It's actually beautiful, amazing. So when you decide what you want to do, then it's now time for you to decide what course you want to do. Please listen very well.
Listen.
Do you have Jota? Write it down.
Write down.
If you don't have Jota, it's your brain. Does it have correct CPU?
Okay.
Process it very well and store it in the real storage. You understand? Don't store it in the short term or long term memory so that you're not gonna forget.
Yes.
Now, research. Let me speak in the accent that you understand.
What's wrong with
Research the course that you want to do. Agents are very easy. Educational agent can be very inevitable when it comes to visa application in Australia. I'm not saying that you cannot do it without them, but I'm saying that in most cases, you will probably need them in finding you a school. But when you go to agent without any information, sister, brother, they will buy you and sell you just like that. But if you go there armed with information, you will challenge them to do their job better and give you what you want.
What you want.
That will set you on a good platform before you enter the country. Because when agents throw you inside the country, their job is done. Or here is your case. Whether they collect agency fee, whether they are collecting commission from your school fee, that one is not their concern anymore. The goal between you and them, exactly, the contract between you and them is get me a school that will give me a course, and then get me and make sure I get my visa, and that's it, and I'm done.
Yeah.
But that's not the beginning, because when you're in Australia, that's where the real war begins, not when you're leaving. So when you prepare your mind to know what courses you want to do, and it aligns with, if you're just coming to get the exposure and get the knowledge, you can do whatever course you've always desired to do. You can always do whatever is in line with your personal goal. Maybe you want you're a CEO, you're a business person back home, and you just want to enhance your knowledge with an MBA degree. You can come and do it and then, return back to your company. But if you're coming with a hope that you might actually settle you on the long run, then it's important that you consider what courses will give you that goal. When you consider that, and bear in mind, Australia is not constant. Every year, I mean literally every year, there is a change in the skilled occupational list.
Yes.
That we are not going to address in this video.
Okay, yeah.
We'll talk about it later. It's a very long story. It's a very long story. Determine the course you want to do and ensure that it's in line with your goal. When you have determined that one, then you can now go to agents, because you are armed with information. Agent bank Google, but if I'm confused, you're gonna start and say, "Okay, look, I bought my breastplate of righteousness.
I know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. You cannot come and be confusioning me.
Okay with it.
Don't let them use one chance for you. If the agent say, "Oh, don't worry, I want you to find business," tell the agent, "Okay, I want business, but if it's not this particular type of business, I am not doing." So you have to be certain, because a man armed with information, is worth more than gold.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Go to the Australian immigration website, Home Affairs, and try to get updated on the skilled occupational list if your goal is to stay back after your study. If your goal is to return back home, you have no problem. Do whatever you want to do, right? But things are bound to change. You understand? We all came with the hope of going back to our father's land.
Yeah.
But God has helped us. God has helped us. Let's leave it like that. Let us leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. So what I'm saying is, when you go to the agent, there are some, when it comes to your student visa, pre the visa, you need to apply for school. You need to know the knowledge. You need to get the right information on what location, which area do you want to study. If you have a family member already in Australia, don't be too reliant, because every man for himself in this country.
Okay.
Your uncle,
You have people if you have friends in Australia.
you have friends. You just say friends. Even if you have your grandfather,
even if you have your daddy, even if your daddy is in Australia, there's nothing you can do to help you.
You have to sort yourself out by yourself. It's a one-man race.
Man for himself.
Exactly. Australia is a high individualistic nation, and that means it is you first before anyone else.
Yep.
So when you come to this country and you think, oh, I have my uncle, he will help me when it comes to accommodation. Your uncle must be very God-fearing, you know. After you accommodate you for 1 month, 2 months, I'm after. Maybe you have started working. Now, so you know you'll be paying rent.
Excuse me, gotta move.
No, before you even take out move, they will use the rent to entice you first, or they will tell you that their children need more space in the house.
And now you say you don't be paying rent. Instead of you to pay rent, your uncles are saying you don't go find your house.
So when it comes to all those things, you have to know that it is a race for you alone. Nobody's gonna run the race for you. You're gonna run it by yourself. So if you don't prepare yourself for those information, you talk about the Australian annual income required from annual cost of living that the government has set it at around $20,000 plus. It's not an exaggerated amount. It's the fact, because you end up spending more, especially when you just settle into the country. The school fees could be a lot, but that doesn't mean that there are no school fees that you can negotiate, like to pay, you know. But when you're coming first, there's no negotiation. You're gonna pay in full.
You're gonna pay everything.
But when you come, you can change school to any school of your choice, but it's very hard too.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
now
it's very hard.
Now it's very hard.
Because now Australia has just one simplified educational system, which means that your student visa does not have double name. It's one subclass 500.
Yes.
So don't let one immigration agent sell nonsense to you that there is one streamlined visa, whatever. There is nothing like that. It's just one subclass. In my time, there was those grammatical language. Exactly. So now all we have is one. Whether you are coming on a high school visa, as a diploma student, as a postgraduate, as an MBA, research, all of us, we are under one student visa. It is subclass 500. But that is not the visa. We cannot jump into applying for visa when you have not known the school you want to go to. So how do you get information about school? Now, if your goal, it still comes down to what your goal is. If your goal is to stay in the country, you have to first consider migrating or studying in a regional area. It shocked you. It shocked me too. When I say it be. You have to first consider studying in regional area. Now, note this, a lot of migration agents back home don't like applying for regional areas. The reasons? I don't know. It could be because they're not getting enough commission when they bring applicants, but they prefer to go to the city like New South Wales, and they're non-regional. It's better for you to, to move to a non-regional and start living your life there. And get what you want. And if you want to now relocate to the bigger city or when you get a job, but it's harder when you are settled in the city, you are studying. You now hear that Tasmania is the one that can help you. Hey, my sister, it's very hard to make that move. Because it can be very frustrating, it can be very disappointing, but there is nothing so constant in Australia except for the fact that regional gives you higher preference. So when you think about where to study and you are planning to stay, that quote, you can see my hand in quote, open quote and close quote, planning to stay, you have to first of all consider regional schools. Now, I know some schools have satellite campuses in the city. They are there in the regional, but living in that regional is more important than just studying online in the city. You have to live in the regional. So when you consider those factors and you go to an agent and an agent is telling you, oh, don't worry, we'll do Macquarie University for you. It's not my sister. Tell the agent, it's not about the Macquarie.
It's not in the regional.
It's the Macquarie in Tasmania. Even those in regional are still struggling. Ask him, is the Macquarie in Double in New South Wales? Like, is it in the regional?
Is it in the regional?
That should be your first question. The ingredient say he's not in the regional. Okay, sir, I'll go and do myself. Come back.
Some agents don't even know regional or anything.
They don't
have this information
at all.
They'll just give you anything.
Exactly. Well, people might tell you that the best thing is getting into the country first.
Yeah.
Get any
They'll
admission, which is the truth.
Yeah, they will tell you that.
It could be the truth. It could be because the goal is for you to step your leg in the country and then you sort yourself out. But to make it easier for you, if you are lucky to get the school right in the regional before you move, it's good for you to start your life there. It's easier than when you've enjoyed, because in the city you have more job opportunity, you have more people to connect with, you have all those things present. But when you realize that it's still not going to give you what you want, and you need to now start thinking of how you're going to move to one regional, northern territory and all those bullshit, it now start looking like Greek and Hebrew to you, like, what are you saying? I don't understand.
Very tough.
So, most of all, consider to research for schools in the regional. There are so many schools are available. Before now, I know that most schools in Australia do not allow personal application because of the backlogs of incomplete application that they used to have. So once you go to their website, they ask you your country. They ask you for your country. They ask you for your country of application. And once you put Nigeria, straight to it. Really? I'm telling you, it will take you straight to immigration, straight to agent, their agent affiliate, direct.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Macquarie will take you straight to their agent, registered agent that they have. PFA is number one then. PFA was on gas, pata of them. And the PFA will bill you. That way, at least I'm here now, thanks to PFA. No. So if you get to the country, some schools don't allow it prior to now, but recently there's been an update. They allow people to apply directly, but you have to pay an application fee, which wasn't the same before. Australia never used to charge for application fee because, and that's the reason why they have a lot of people trying to apply and then they will stop, they will not complete it. Do you understand? Okay, yeah. So because of the delayed courses, they never knew who, those that were serious with the application and those that were joking.
Okay.
So they had to say, go straight to the agent, because after you pay 200,000 naira to the agent,
you will not joke again.
You cannot joke. You have entered the matter. You cannot put your leg inside water and be saying you are cold. They are already in, you are in. But if you are doing, because of the free access everyone has to internet, you start the application, you leave it halfway, forgetting that you are creating queue. Yeah. Some people have finished the application, but they cannot see because your own is standing on top of their own. Yeah. So if you want, there are some direct application. You can do it direct or indirect. Direct is you doing the application by yourself, paying the application fee, submitting all the necessary documentation and all that is necessary. Statement of purpose being a priority. Yeah. That we are going to talk about in another video. Statement of purpose, as well as, I think, GRE. There's another one that says GRE. I think that's general. GTE.
GTE.
Genuine temporary entrant. You have to prove that you have come to stay and go. You have to write out a genuine temporary entrant essay, whatever. That's you stating to the government that you're coming in Chile as a student because the information the resources, the exposure and the education, or because it aligns with your purpose in life, whatever, and that you're not planning to be an illegal in your country. You're planning to study and to go and utilize the education and knowledge that you have gained in their country in anywhere else that your elder carry you to. Yes. You understand? So once you understand that all those things, and bear in mind, I don't know if some agents do write statement of purpose or GT for you, but I know that PFL doesn't. You have to write it by yourself. Yeah. It's important that you write it by yourself because it's personal. You have to showcase the genuineness of your application. You have to show how passionate you are about the course you have chosen to study. Yeah. Now, bearing that in mind, that you could do the direct application by yourself or you could go indirect. When you're using agent, whether you're doing it by yourself or you're using agent, it's important that you still do your research right. Go to the agent armed with your location of preference or your state of preference. If you want it to be Northern Territory, if you want it to be New South Wales, if you want it to be Tasmania, Western Australia, go to them, giving them option of what you want. Go to them armed with the course you want to do. Yes. You can pick 3 or 4 options, because I know PFO back then, in my own time, they allowed us to pick at least you can do 2 applications or 3 applications, and then it's the same amount of money you pay. Whether you do 1, it's the same amount, but they have maximum of I think 2 or 3 that they will apply for you in different school and different courses that you want. Make sure you have your course already listed that you want, that this is my course of interest, this is what I want. Or if they try convincing you, oh, it's gonna be hard, try first.
You better choose the course that you want, that you know
you better tell them to try first. Because imagine spending 1 year studying business and then all of a sudden you realize that nursing is the one that can help your life. And then you now return back and go and pay school fees for nursing again after wasting 1 year to study the course. It's not me that it helps, it's you that it's helping. So make sure that you have those information armed. And when you get to an agent and they start your process for you, please, whatever online application login they are using for you, be it under Western Sydney University, Macquarie, tell them to give you username and ID, and password.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
It's very important you get the logins by yourself. Reason being, so that you can access the information by yourself when you need them. Because a lot of these agents, because they have so many people they're attending to, you might have a personal consultant, but it's bound to make mistakes. It's bound to upload the wrong information. It's bound to skip 1 or 2 things. And that might be the reason why they will not give you the course. So when you get all those information, make sure you ask them, please, can I have my login, please? So that I can also monitor what you are doing. It's your money, you paid for it.
Hopefully those agents will. Hopefully those agents will answer them, because
if you push it, I'm paying you for it.
Maybe if you push it,
because most schools create that direct online application where they can create things for you. If they're using their agent code, they will still give you those details. They might not give you the login, whatever, but if you are rejected, ask them to send you the letter so that you can see why you are. Because I had a case where the agent applied for the wrong course for me. I chose a different course and he did the wrong course. And he didn't ask me to update my statement of purpose and all those things. Submitted the same one I used to apply for accounting for. for another one. And then it was rejected. Please, how would you not be rejected?
Of course.
Because you did, and the school actually told me that I cannot apply for another course from them. So if you don't have all those information, they will just tell you that it's not up to them to decide whether the school will accept you or not, because they are never going to own up to their mistake. We made a slight error. My own even told me, oh, I made an error. I feel like I feel like punching the guy after paying 150,000. You are telling me you made the error.
Tell you that you made the error, because they won't tell you that they made.
But we didn't give me my money back for that error. Anyway,
they'll just tell you they didn't.
I know. But what you can do is to ensure that you are. They might call you very inquisitive. They might say, "Oh, that troublemaker is here," but you are paying for your money. Be a troublemaker to ensure that they do it right. Be a troublemaker for that sake. Don't be that like, oh, I've given it to you. That's why I gave it to them now, so that they can, do whatever they like. Because the agent will not follow you to Australia or to Canada. You are going there all by yourself. And if you're going with your family and you have tested but in the wrong direction, my brother and sister, the Lord is the only one that can guide your step.
It's only God that can help your life.
Only God that can help your life. Because coming single is hard enough. Now coming with wife or husband and children, it's a complicated situation.
Amen, sister.
So you are gonna come ready, prepared, like you're coming for war. Or else, so that is free visa application, right? So Toyin, if the information your agent gave you, were they all true? Like part of the things they told you about life in Australia, did they tell you about life in Australia?
No.
Did they tell you about what to expect?
No, like really, those agents, the only thing that they did for me was just apply. Like they just applied for school and got the visa, and there was nothing about life in Australia or anything. The life in Australia I actually researched. Like how I brought like how beautiful Australia is.
Did they tell you about job availability?
The agents?
Yeah.
No, they didn't say anything about job, about how to get job or how to settle. It was just like was just like the normal thing. They'll help you get the visa,
Yeah.
and then you.
So do you think things would have been easier if you had gathered enough information
Of
about
course.
Australia before coming?
That is very true. Things would have been easier. I would have made better choices, and I would just have been like gathered myself enough, because you know, moving from a country that you were like born into, like you were raised there, you've lived most of your life there,
Yeah.
then moving from there to another country where you don't know anybody,
Exactly.
it's hard enough.
Terrible.
It's hard enough. Then you don't now get your feet, like your everything is just like that one makes it harder. So like you would struggle if you don't have like all this information. So I would have preferred if like the agent have told me like, oh, this is how you're living, this would be like, okay, giving me more information. Just
Yeah.
apart from the little research that I did.
And I don't blame them, because they're basically educational agents. You
Yeah.
know, they're just working just to get the money. So it's very important for individuals to know what they want.
Yeah.
You have to understand and define. The definition of goal coming to Australia is like you starting a project. It's like you about to do a project. You have to lay the foundation, and there's no way you can't just go and buy land because the land is vacant. You just go there and go and start building house.
Yes.
You have to make research. Who owns the land? How long has this land been here? What can I do? Are you sure we get into trouble buying this land?
Yeah.
All those questions are essential. That's the same way it comes to when you're moving to a different country to start a different life, because
Yeah.
whether you like it or not, you have a family here or not, it's the same freaking stress. Like you would wish you stay back home. In the beginning, in fact, I was frustrated at some point. I told myself, once you are done with school, you pack your bag, you go back
You
home.
will get to that stage. You will definitely get to that stage. Like there's no way you will not get to that stage. Like
It's literally non-negotiable. You will be frustrated. Like that's just a once you are in the country. So now, if you know that you want to see the real visa, you want to get the right and direct information about visa application, student visa in specific, please subscribe to this channel and wait to see it next week. And if you still want to see more of this fine auntie, yeah, she's finer than me now. She's feeling like,
no, this girl, she's so beautiful.
okay, but we're gonna be proud
See,
of her.
she has nothing. She's like,
Okay.
she's so gorgeous. You need to see her in real life.
So, in a nutshell, ignore her. What do you want to say? Just paparazzi. Whatever we are saying, subscribe, share.
Subscribe.
If you know
Find
anyone
out.
planning to travel, please, it's important to share this video with them so that they can get the right information that they need. We will say things from our experience. I'm not here to say I think or
Yeah,
maybe.
like it's just from
I'm
my
giving you the
experience,
real
so
fact
I know
of what we
shit.
wish we knew before we came to the country. And being the fact that we've been every time, what question do your friends in Nigeria that want to travel ask you?
They ask me, how do I do it?
How did you do it to come to Australia? And the process change every year.
Yeah.
It's never
not
constant.
Yes, you can't even say the same thing for everybody.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
never
because
constant.
Everybody's situation is different. Even the questions sometimes I don't know. how to
Exactly.
answer.
So someone like you and your friend might do the application together, and you both chose the same course. And after 2 years, your friend got permanent resident, even as an accountant. Why? Because the backlog of experience he has had, maybe working in KPMG, Deloitte, you know, all those big four. And you just finished school and you went to do your master's. Two heads are not the same. So you are better know what you want for yourself. With what you have, what do I currently have and what do I want to have?
What can I achieve with what I have?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What benefit would what I have give to me?
Yeah.
So you don't continue trekking the long road. Going to I don't know how to describe it in Lagos, but let's assume you are going to Ikeja now. You found yourself going to Shagam first, and you are a beggar. You went straight to Shagam first. You're already on your way. You're already on your way to Ibadan before somebody says, Uncle Ikeja, ever father, lost straight. You're on your own, no. You understand? So you need to know exactly what you want to do before you take the move. Like I said, arm yourself with the right information and watch out for this channel. Subscribe, share with your friends. The next video we'll be talking about the student visa directly, and like I promised, I'll be talking about the student visa, talking about family partner visa, talking about asylum protection visa, Yeah, I'll be talking about those 3 major kinds of visa
This
because
lady, she knows it all. Just
I don't know it all.
subscribe.
I gather my information.
Yeah, she's a researcher. Like, oh my god, she goes in depth. Just subscribe.
So if you have any questions, don't forget to leave it in the comment section below. Share with your friends. Don't be afraid. Just be polite in the comment section. Ask me any question you want to know about Australia. If Australia, visa, whatever, if I don't have the answer, I promise to make research or give you the right link for you to get your resources. I don't know it all, but I would ensure that I supply you with a valid answer that will help you, or that will at least put you in the pathway to getting the right answer.
Yeah.
So until then, please show love to everyone you see around you. Be kind, be nice, help the helpless. You know, Christmas is coming. It'll be good. Maybe we'll do giveaway. Any people when we reach 250 subscribers.
Ah!
We'll do giveaway. So start subscribing. Hey!
Bye! Hey!